Okay, recording this video after close trade Monday 13th of August 2012. Hope you had a good day's trading today. Well, last week was incredibly dull and boring. We had very low volume, low ranges. Today was far more interesting, although the volume and the range was still pretty ordinary. This is last week's volume. It was only about 6 million contracts traded all week last week. If you go to the daily chart, you can see here, even today was only about 1 million contracts. I think it was just about 9.5 points or something like that of range today. But it was a more interesting day because it was a reversal day, and I'll just show you this chart. This is using the average trade size, calculating average trade size during the day. This isn't Better Pro-Am, although the coloring is the same as Better Pro-Am. I've never released the algorithm for this, but this is just showing, this morning's activity. We had a little bit of professional activity taking out these highs, and then we kind of sold off here, and the professionals stepped in at 95.96 and picked it up on these two down bars, and we raced away from there. And we're sitting at this incredibly important 1400 type level, previous highs and so on. Got this kind of trend line is making this like fan pattern. We kind of keep on breaking up. We had early on in the piece a couple of breaks down, kind of below the trend line, never kind of made it. We keep on breaking up and up and up, and we're just sitting underneath this. So I think we're going to break into, I don't know how far it's going to go, but I think this 1400 level is incredibly psychologically important, and that during today, the professionals did kind of step in midday when we had a little bit of a sell-off, and they were very anxious to get on board. But X-Trend is kind of following the trend up, so we're sitting still quite a ways away here. So looking for some kind of blow-off activity in the next couple of days to trail this stop even higher, but I think it's going to happen soon. This is another reason why we've got this kind of trend kind of going on. This is a 3 time frame kind of view of the world. We're using weekly, daily, 135 minute, kind of almost like a ratio of 3 between the time frames. There are 3 135 minute bars in a day's session, and this is at es.d, so this is just showing the day session data. And you can see on the daily chart last week we had these Rambo patterns, amateur bars at the highs, and we were just kind of hanging around. Sometimes the Rambo patterns are great kind of reversal points, particularly when they're in the direction of the trend. So I mean, if we're in a downtrend and we get Rambo patterns at the high, then they're good signals to go short. But here what I think they're showing is they're just showing a lack of conviction. The amateurs are kind of pushing it up, and we're having a lack of conviction kind of taking us through 1400. We've just kind of been settling back. I suppose the Europeans are on vacation. We've got London just getting out of its 3 weeks kind of Olympic malaise. We've got hot summers going on in the US. So I mean, maybe it's just a lack of people kind of trading, and we're waiting kind of for more news and more people to be involved. It's not to say we can't have little kind of nice little trend moves and trend breaks. But anyway, so it's just been really, really quiet. So that was last week's activity with that amateur kind of bar at the highs there. So, but the reason why I think we're going to break out, so this was kind of the sell-off. This was the ECB announcement. We had this big rally since then, and then we put in some selling patterns here. And you can see we just ended up with kind of bullish divergence with today's activity down here, and so we're just sitting right underneath this resistance level. We're above resistance on the daily chart, and all of the risk-on charts have these kind of weekly support levels are in. In the case of the Emini, it happens to be a pullback and an uptrend support level, but we've got all those support levels on the weekly chart, so I think they've got to play out at some point, and that's why I think we're going to kind of break above 1400 and kind of have a go for it. The trend system signaled down today, so we had very high reading on Friday with a bearish divergence on trend, and so today's activity we've actually kind of trend systems have just signaled short, and the trend oscillators kind of turned down. Trend systems tend to be early into this, and I think that's not necessarily a good signal given everything else that I've seen, but we'll see. In terms of the, this is what I wanted to say about these kind of sell-off moves. This is the 4,500 tip bar chart. The thing to notice, so I've just bunched this up. We've been at these highs for the last week up here, but you can see on better momentum, during all of this activity, all we're getting is lots of exhaustion selling signals on the downside. We've had no exhaustion buying signals on the upside here. And for me, what that suggests is there's lots of people trying to get this move to go to short this move, to try and get the activity going on the downside. But we barely made it through 94s or something like that during the week. So each of these activities on the downside has basically got people positioned short. None of those shorts have kind of worked out, and so we've got a lot of pent up energy sitting sitting under 1400 waiting for a bounce, but we didn't see any exhaustion buying activity. Yes, we had exhaustion buying activity getting this move going or ending this move into pullback to end of trend, but then the shorts couldn't get it going down here. So what I think we're going to see is an explosion to the upside with a kind of high range bar kind of going through 1400. So, but that's why, you know, this week's activity, we just had exhaustion selling signals. 40,500 tip bar chart. Yes, today we did pull back to end of trend, but in the background, you know, we had this exhaustion selling signal kind of here and bullish divergence. So we had exhaustion buying here, but because of this activity, I just think we've run out of sellers. The sellers have tried to get this thing going and haven't managed. 13,500 tip bar chart, same kind of thing, sitting under 1400 on all these signals on the downside. Exhaustion selling, bullish divergence, flushing out the sellers, flushing out the sellers. So I think we've flushed them all out, and then with this reversal activity, the support kind of came in on the 13,000 today. Bang, we kind of broke to the upside. It was quite nice day's trading. I thought, because we had all these blue professional, this is the 1500 tip bar chart, and this is the beginning of today's activity, because we had all these blue professional bars at the beginning of the day kind of come in. I thought they were buying those lows, so I went long at 1400, expecting a little bit of a break. Well, I was actually expecting that, hoping for the breakout today above this level. Never kind of got going, and that was actually an amateur up bar here on 1500 tip bar chart, kind of testing the highs there. And because we'd had our exhaustion buying really on Friday, you know, all these blue professional bars at the high, you know, bearish divergence and so on, as soon as we hit that level, we kind of just crashed into a downtrend, which is quite nice. Got out of that long trade, reversed, went short actually at 99.25. Was out of the long trade at 1400 and a half, and then kind of got short after this activity, just as we were kind of holding in this kind of consolidation zone here, and then we made another kind of play for the downside. I got out up to 2.5 points on this downside. It was good for the 4 all the way down, but we actually, I'll just show you this on the 4500 tip bar chart, we'd had end of trend go off here. So I should have been waiting for a little bit longer, but you know, made 3 points after 2 trades, so I was happy with that. But short covering rally here, kind of surge of activity, but all these blue professional bars getting short at the pullback in a downtrend. We go to make finally an exhaustion selling signal. This one's kind of getting the move going, signaled around here, kind of showing the selling in that swing down at that point, and then this is a final move kind of getting ready to reverse. So we've had pullback to end of trend, we've had our exhaustion selling signal, bullish divergence kind of comes in here. Always look at that kind of a pattern on the 1500 tip bar chart where we have exhaustion, bullish divergence or bearish divergence for a potential reversal trade after we've waited for cyclical turns. So because this one happened on the end of trend, waiting for the second cyclical turn after end of trend, if this has happened here at this point, and then we'd had bullish divergence kind of coming at this point and the end of trend was likely to hold, if we hadn't had this, that would have been a more interesting place. We're looking for confirmation, if you like, but waiting for the second cyclical turn. Blue professional bars kind of coming again at those lows, and then we race away to the highs there. So that was kind of an interesting kind of reversal day there. And on the 4500 tip bar chart, it was, you know, the beginning of the day ended up with pullback to end of trend, marking the highs there, and this midday move was pullback to end of trend as well, with, you know, exhaustion, bullish divergence, and we race away to the upside. So get a nice kind of little reversal day. But because it was all those blue professional bars were back up at 1400, I think this time around, I think we're going to make a charge for it through 1400. So tomorrow's going to be really interesting. I'll tag on that second day trade, although it was pretty uninteresting, about 2.5 points. Did take profits too early, but there was a good kind of setup there for a nice 4-point move into a fairly low range day. Anyway, hope you traded well today. Looking forward to the rest of the week. On short 99.25, short 99.25, and this little blue bar here was on the way up. We just broke the low of that. Got a little bit of time to run resistance to support on 1500. I suppose we put in, you know, end of trends on 4500, pull back to end of trend on 500. We've just dropped through support here. Just, you know, kind of, I thought maybe we'd go for a bit more of a run to the upside, but we just kind of lost out anyway. So just dropping through support here on 500 tip bar chart, hopefully into a downtrend here. Here we go.
Alright, so here we go. So breaking through the lows. So see how far this goes. 2 exhaustion selling bars at minus 8,000 on 1500 2-bar chart. It's a fairly big reading, so let's see where this goes next. A couple of minutes later, we kind of lost a little bit of confidence here, but coming back to resistance point coming on the 500 2-bar chart. It's a rainbow pattern on the way down, but we've not got some kind of flush pattern here. If this is going to be a bounce from this level, that bullish divergence right on the zero line, usually looking for a point kind of midway in between at least, and so that will probably take us to new lows. So if we go through that, then we're through supports on 1500 as well. So that's what I'm waiting for, still holding out for this. I know this kind of went off, but it's almost like it was getting this move going rather than ending it. We've got to see bullish divergence for a change. Here we go. So pullback and a downtrend's just gone off there. So hopefully this will kind of continue through. Right, we just crashed through supports here, which is good. It's a big reading on a bit of momentum. Thought it was going to be a flush, but just kept on going through. Blue professional. Ooh. Targets at 95.25. Not too far away. So blue professional bars falling through support as a falling through the ice pattern into rainbow patterns here. 7,000. So it's pullback. We've got this kind of swing happening, swing down on the 4500 tip bar chart. So let's hope to get taken out on the next push down. Quite a heavy bounce off 96s and those rainbow patterns. So those rainbow patterns, I always think of them as unstable when they come with exhaustion. Yeah, we just bounced up almost 2 points, but we're underneath the support level here, so support becomes resistance. Same deal on 1500, support becomes resistance. So to end this, that could be a bullish divergence kind of going off on 1500, but probably got to see some kind of pullback to dirty end of trend or bullish divergence on 500 before this is over. So just hoping for another push down past 96, not that way. Well, we just had bullish divergence go off on 1500 2-bar chart, end of trend on 45. Blue fresh bar kind of coming to lows at 96s, just looking for pullback to end of trend. Maybe we'll make it down 95.25, but I'll be quite happy to jump out shortly. It's just trying to find the right time if we get another push down. 96.75. 96.75, so for 2.5. And then with that first trade of a half, that gives me 3 for the day, so that's good enough. But the reason for getting out is we've had pullback to end of trend go off with bullish divergence down here, blue professional bars at the lows. Pullback to end of trend on the 4500 tip bar chart and a divergence here, bullish divergence on 1500. Yeah, it's just testing that level. So there might be more in it, not sure which way. Yeah, it looks like the market's kind of wants to go down today, but certainly this is going to stop here for a while, I'd have thought. So we'll see. Tired. So hope you traded well today.